Salutations to the Lord, to Parabrahma, to Shruti Mata, to all the Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru. Salutations, welcome to you all, the co-travelers on this path spiritual. Wonderful listeners, Shrotas, wonderful Chintakas, the ones doing Manana Chintana, contemplators, and a good sadhakas, and those who have the Jignasa to know the truth. And then Bhagavad Bhaktas, Shishyas of the Guru, and most importantly, the Mumukshus. Although we influence the world, although we get influenced by the world, though it is inevitable, but where is choice is, how do we influence the world? How do we get influenced by the world? That choice is there, that freedom is there. If we can become wise to recognize that choice and use the given freedom, then truly we give good to the world, we get good from the world. All in all, it is our life, as we said yesterday in the introduction, morning or evening class. We have to make it spiritually evolved. Therefore, we have to take it in our hands. We have to take the full responsibility of it. Of course, outer influences, positive, negative, we continue. Like in a flow of a river, the current will always be influencing our swimming downwards or upwards with its speed. But it is we who are alive, we have to swim while going through those. Sometimes helps by the river if the current is in same direction of our swimming. Sometimes that obstructs us if the current of the river is opposite. But in either case, the swimmer has to swim in the same way. We also have to be intelligent enough to swim across this spiritual life, crossing one by one stages to reach to the other shore or the highest or the topmost, negotiating with the world. What is required for it is first stop blaming the world or having any value given to the world in either way, that it is destructive or obstruction or helpful. It is not in that world. World is jada. How I see the world, take the world, relate with the world, interact with the world, decides whether I am using the world or not using it, or using positively or negatively. By this, the focus should be on ourselves. Then, as a spiritual seeker, what is required is awareness, level of awareness, and all the time awareness. To begin with, about our entire outer life, and if possible, their consequences. To that level, we have to increase our intellect. The intellectual awareness we are talking about. Pure awareness is when all these awarenesses we transcend. Upadhi, sthayi awarenesses, when we transcend the pure awareness, we reach. But before that, at the intellectual level only, we have to be always alert and aware. If intellect sleeps, then there will be havoc created by the mind and senses, and that is the samsara which we are going through now. Intellect has to become alert, awake, observe what these equipments are doing, and that intellect alone must know through Shastras what these equipments should do. And intellect should, by force or pursuing or convincing, see to it that the faculties do what is to be done. This whole struggle in which sacrifices, hardships, etc., are unavoidable, the whole struggle is called as spiritual sadhana. That has to be done for the result. So, in that alertness, awareness aspect of the buddhi only, we can have every day some proposals in the morning, some questions at night before we sleep. The proposal in the morning is first, what knowledge I'm going to add, I'm planning to add to myself today from morning. Awareness. Because everything depends on knowledge only. So we should start with knowledge itself. What knowledge I am adding to myself today? Either add it or refresh already existing. Remind ourselves. New knowledge can be added, existing can be extended, or it is refreshed or reminded. Then, toward the end of the day, look back and see what knowledge I have added today to myself. The Shravana, then Swadhyaya of the books at home, and Manana. These three things help us in adding the knowledge to us. What knowledge I have added today? If added means intellect was aware, intellect was working during the day. Refreshing the existing knowledge or improving it upon or adding the new knowledge. This effort is spiritual sadhana. सुबह सोचकर करना है दिन भर, शाम को पीछे मुड़कर देखना है हुआ कि नहीं. So to early morning, what emotions, what devotions I have to add today to myself. A planning. Otherwise, we'll just live a routine life of non sadhana. And that is routine life of non sadhana is such that it consumes everything of our personality, yet it doesn't end, isn't it? Like watching TV for news. How many channels are there nowadays? Or newspaper padna? How many articles, advertisements, classifieds, matrimonials, and how many papers are there in how many languages? If you make it a routine, everything, you have to do gardening. So how many plants are there? Watering is required and all. Jogging, walking. Oh, you can go exercise 20 times. Friends, 20 of them. These are all routines. Generally, people give importance to routine and get lost in that, even though it is better than being fully lazy, but not the best. We have to plan. What spiritual devotion I am going to add today? Something, a thought should start. And if we can gather clarity, exactly this one today I will do and I will achieve this through this doing. Okay, like आज चतुर्दशी है, शनिवार है. Then of, let us say, Lord Ananta or Ganapati, anybody. I'll do one stotra or one five malas japa or one asta, how do you say, stotram or bhajan kirtan or some puja. नहीं किया कुछ प्लान, हर दिन करना पड़ता है. हर दिन, जैसे आर्मी वालों को every day they don't fight, but every day they have to do their exercises, joggings. Every day they have to check their armor, the rifles, whatever they are given. युद्ध होना होना इसके वो लगातार 40 ईयर सर्विस है तो हर दिन करना है. सेम भी हमको जिंदगी भर सुबह सोचना है. Then it gives that push, an initiative for us to be active, dynamic, well planned and working towards a substantial goal that helps us avoiding, as we said, getting lost only the routine. It helps us in avoiding getting lost in many nonsense. Most important thing is when this we have planned active alert, that falling down of our chitta personality into the tamo guna is avoided, which is an eternal enemy. In Gita, he said Kama and Krodha are the eternal enemies for sadhakas. But before becoming sadhaka, the enemy is tamoguna, which Krishna addressed Arjuna already in the second chapter. This Kama Krodha are the enemies is said third chapter end May when Arjuna asked a question. Why do we do wrong? But in the first chapter, Arjuna was already in collapsed stage of coma, tamoguna. So Bhagavan used all his weapons, etc., to wake him up. And that Klaibyama, Smagamaha, all those words of humiliation. Thereafter, telling about the dharma of fighting the war and all. So he has brought Arjuna out of slumber, tamo. Then only Arjuna could further use intellect to think and then ask the question in the third chapter, beginning and end. So the Rajogunatmaka, Kama, Krodha are our Shatrus, no doubt. But to come to that level, the first enemy we have to conquer is the lethargy, intellectual, physical, mental. So when I have this way the goal, these are the devotional things today I'll do and love that goal, conscious about it. Then I can be coming out of that tamoguna, again also the rajoguna. And toward the end of the day, look back. What did I do to add to my devotional practice? Really practicing the devotion so that the Lord can think, या इसने भक्ति कर दी, चलो उसके लिए मैं थोड़ा अनुग्रह दे दूं. Lord bless me, prayer is not enough. Prayer is not the first and last thing. Prayer is the last thing. First and only thing, nahi, last. Preceded by it is, are the all upasanas. किए बिना सीधा प्रार्थना अगर लाइक मंदिर जाओ पूजा करो परिक्रमा कर तब जाकर प्रे करने से भगवान रिजल्ट देते हैं ब्लेसिंग without doing prayer like you stand in the line for taking salary toward the month end. That is after doing the whole month's work in the company. Then you ask salary. Suddenly गया के पैसे दो कौन क्यों देगा? Second, third one also good one. कि I should add some values or some talents or some salient features helpful for my spiritual growth. Yeah, sustenance also let us say. So वही सोचना है. Then क्या करे सोचकर करे. Then night evening look back and see what are the values added practiced. In fact, after that only at night for the next day a tentative planning, in fact possible है तो confirmed planning होना चाहिए. Any intelligent company or organization in their meetings, that's what they do. In that meeting, in the beginning, they have an agenda. They discuss. Toward then, the bullet points or whatever you call them, oh, minutes of the meeting. Again, next meeting में क्या सोचे? Please homework करके आओ. That secretary or the coordinator should tell. Like in cricket also. Match is over, then whole thing they analyze, explain everything. Then the last 10 minutes they give to do the preview of the next match. What about the next match? Understand? Then the venue, the pitch report, the weather conditioning, and accordingly what could be the changes in this team, that team strategy. isn't it? In the same way, सुबह सोचा, किया दिन भर, शाम को पीछे मुड़कर देखा, देखा कि कुछ हुआ कि नहीं, देन कल के लिए क्या करना. Then our dharma abhyas, our seva abhyas, our physical labor. Today I will do. In fact, as spiritual seekers, what we neglect more is the physical labor. Because of that, all the otherwise gathered energies, let us say intensely we are doing tapasya or upasana, japa, they all get stagnant or overwhelming. That is why some physical exercise of seva, some work, कुछ तो कुछ करके ना वो excessive unwanted energy को छोड़ना चाहिए. Otherwise it gets accumulated. Then it leads to so many bodily abnormalities. You know, some people, when they just go to devotional thing, suddenly कुछ हो जाता है, then they start shaking, ये वो, all that. That means they didn't have the sufficient physical work. Therefore, that is expressed now. Venting out of unwanted things, excessive things. Something wanted, sometimes it's a good thing only, but it is excessive. That also you have to drop. Give it to the world. है ना, मेरे पर्स में जितने पैसे आ सकते हैं रखा है, बाकी तो क्या करोगे, देन यू गिव टू वाइफ और चिल्ड्रन. और तुम्हारे पर्स में रखो, मैं पूछता हूँ बाद में. इन द सेम वे समटाइम मेनी ए टाइम वी डू वेरी लेस साधना, समटाइम्स ज़्यादा भी होएगा, तो फिर ओवरलोड वाला यू हैव टू रिलीज इट टू द वर्ल्ड थ्रू सेवा. Why it's overload? Because we don't have the ability to use it for our sadhana. Clarity नहीं है. Of so many aspects. Anyway, that is little complicated one. इतना तो समझ लेवे कि morning planned physical work, morning planned some values, morning planned some love to the world and devotion to the God. Morning only planned what I am adding to my knowledge, both worldly as well as spiritual. Worldly knowledge, not about what is happening in the world, वो तो ठीक है, but about the nature of the world to be illusory, delusory, of the binding nature. ये जो व्यतिरेक वाला ज्ञान रिगार्डिंग द जगत ऐड करना पड़ेगा. देन अन्वय वाला ज्ञान पर द आत्म तत्व वी हैव टू ऐड. देन वर्क वी हैव टू बेसिकली एंड एनी अदर साधना सा उपासना जब ये सब आ गए उसमें. This is how every day, dynamically, productively, creatively, spiritually, when we do, that day is conquered. So that gift called a day is rightly opened and used. तो भगवान चाहे अगले दिन फिर जिला है तो अगेन द सेम. And it is an eternal struggle, especially with the prakriti, with the upadis, with the three gunas. है ना, किस कारण से आते हैं, कैसे कब अटैक करेंगे नहीं पता. Some are immediate reasons, let us say tamoguna, because of heavy food, diabetic, sugar food. ये ज़्यादा खाते तो नींद ज़्यादा अटैक होता है. They are too much tired, too much worried, or both. Less sleep, then also will be lethargic. More sleep, then also we are lethargic. है ना, तो ज़्यादा सोए तो हैंगओवर इफेक्ट होता है, कम सोया तो कभी का इफेक्ट होता है. Everything, food also, food and all interrelated. कम खाए तो भूख will disturb us, ज़्यादा खाया तो ओवर ईटिंग will disturb us. फिर क्वालिटेटिव फूड नहीं लिया तो विटामिनल डेफिशिएंसी, इट हैज इट्स ओन प्रॉब्लम. रॉन्ग क्वालिटी वाला फूड लिया तो वो फिर पेट को, सबको, दिमाग को खराब करेगा. See the life. Always, it's our life, both worldly, spiritual. Like the boat in a river or ocean of so many waves and tides. देखो, एक तो बोट को डूबने नहीं देना, दूसरा पानी बोट में आने नहीं देना, तीसरा बोट को स्टेबल रखना. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट, to the direction which we have to ride the boat, we should be able to do. So, life also, संसार में डूबने नहीं देना, संसार को अंदर आने नहीं देना, साधना में बैलेंस रखना, और जिस तरफ जाना है लक्ष्य, अग्रसर होते रहना. Every moment. Not an easy task, but what to do? There is no other way. Then the self confidence, then the invocation of the divine grace and power, then getting encouragement from the like minded people, then getting inspiration from those who have already reached those levels. These are all the necessary helping things which keep the sadhaka, the parishrami, intact in us. This is how one has to, from within only, start blossoming to be a, first of all, living life fully well, second, living life fully well as a human being, then living life fully well as with the regard to the goal of this human being. The spiritual goal is main and only. All others are definitely goals, but yoked to, directed to the final goal. है ना? एवरी डे यू नौकरी करो, ड्यूटी, धर्म निर्वहन करो, भोजन करो, ये सब ड्यूटी है, कर्तव्य, बट दे आर नॉट इंडिपेंडेंट कर्तव्यास. दे ऑल आर कर्तव्यास टुवर्ड्स द अल्टीमेट कर्तव्य ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल अनफोल्डमेंट. So may our minds, intellects that way get awakened. Today we started with awakening and awareness to all these, and then revel in it only without giving any justification or excuse or alternative or relaxation. You know, everyone, Hanuman ji kaho, Rama ji kaho, Krishna Bhagavan, Gurudev kaho, they have matured their intellect so much, so much, so much. Matlab, they know clearly what, when given value or importance, pulls us down, takes us away from path. And they have guts, abilities to not allow them. With Rama's search for Sita, Hanumanji's search for Sita, Shankar Bhagwan's divine work of spreading Shastras, and Pujya Gurudev's work of this, all of that they could accomplish because they were smart, they were intelligent, they know what obstructs their path, everything, and they have the guts and hearts to remove those obstructions. बड़ा हाई लेवल का अवेयरनेस इन आवर लाइफ. तो जानबूझ कर ही we bring all obstructions in our own life. We don't even are sensitive enough to know that these are obstructions. The excessive foods, the wrong foods, the whole day exposing our mind, intellect, senses to the worldliness. How poisonous, destructive, detrimental they are for the spiritual sadhana. बट ये हमको इतनी मेच्योरिटी पे आई नहीं. हम उसके बाद ना कि देन हाउ स्लोली वी हैव टू नेगोशिएट. पद्म पत्र में वाम बसा, कैसे रहे इस जगत में, छोड़कर तो जा नहीं सकते, रहोगे तो फंस जाओगे, तो बिना गए बिना फंसे, हाउ टू मैनेज. Then the later stage of Gurudev ji, they don't have anything to do and achieve for themselves. They have there to serve the world, but there also फंसना होता है. उसको कैसे अवॉइड करें? दे आर स्मार्ट अबाउट the very intricate subtle things of life. They will open to us when we are loving our life and wanting to live it for the best of the purposes every day. When we love our life, we don't love our life. If we love, we respect it. If we respect it, we know its glory. If we know its glory, we use it for the best of the purpose every moment. not our life. That's why घंटों घंटों ऐसे ऐसे फालतू चीजों में वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. Loving life is making use of it for the highest of the purposes, not the lowest. If you love it, use it for highest. You don't love, therefore घंटा चाय के लिए, 1 घंटा नाश्ते के लिए, यही सब जिंदगी भर यही चलते रहते हैं. As if it's a duty, like inhaling, exhaling is so important. The lubba dubba of the heart is so important. We made all these nonsenses so much important to us that even to question about it, also becomes a pain. As if, oh, how can you ask me? मेरे को तो पीना है, मेरे को भी लेना. Then you don't love the life. You waste the life in useless things. Just imagine great contributors, either in the worldly parlance or spiritual. Can we imagine that they wasting their time in trivials, meaningless? You can't imagine. Impossible. That means they loved the life so much that they want to use it for the best of the purpose. Of course, two only are the best purposes. One outside serving the world, second inside realizing the self. और क्या है जिंदगी का इससे बड़ा मकसद. Dasoham, serve the Lord in the form of the word. Soham, meditate on the Lord in the self. So may we be opened with all these knowledges soon. Mm. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahmavidya Bhakti Brahmavidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsarusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyana Pishaje Bhavarogina Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtiye Namaha. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kruto Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Om Jagati Mavitum Galita Krutayo Vicharanti Mahamahasachalataha अहिमां सुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषद आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः शास्त्राणां साधनानां गुरु भगवत्कृपाणां पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण समस्त विश्व व्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थम अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निश्चित अस्माकं सह समस्त गुरूणाम् आचार्याणां संस्थानां सेवकानां भक्तानां जिज्ञासूनां पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्यादि सद्गुण सत्संपदा सत्शक्ति साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्य अंतर समस्त शत्रुणां विघ्नानां निर्मूलन निवारण द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थम श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनस्य प्रयत्नं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ॐ मनस्तावतमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्. ॐ अथ श्री ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद् शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य मणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्त्वं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्वतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः पारायणम्। ॐ पुरुषे हवायमादितो गर्भो भवति यदेतद्रेतः तदेतत् सर्वेभ्योऽङ्गेभ्यः तेजः सम्भूतम् आत्मनि एव आत्मानं बिभर्ति तद्यदा स्त्रियां सिञ्चति अत एतत् न अथ सिञ्चति अत एनत् जनयति तदस्य प्रथमं जन्म तत्श्रियात्मभूयं गच्छति यथा समङ्गं तथा तस्मादेनां न हिनस्ति सास्य एतम् आत्मानम् अत्र गतं भावयति सा भावयित्री भावयितव्या भवति तं स्त्रीगर्भं बिभर्ति सो अग्रे एव कुमारं जन्मनः अग्रे अधिभावयति स यत् कुमारं जन्मनः अग्रे अधिभावयति आत्मानम् एव तद्भावयति येषां लोकानां सन्तत्या एवं सन्तता हि इमे लोकाः तदस्य द्वितीयं जन्म सः अस्य अयम् आत्मा पुण्येभ्यः कर्मभ्यः प्रतिधीयते अथ अस्यायम् इतर आत्मा कृतकृत्यो वयोगतः प्रैति स इतः प्रयन्नेव पुनर्जायते तदस्य तृतीयं जन्म तदुक्तं ऋषिणा गर्भेऽनु सन् अन्वेषाम् अवेदम् अहं देवाना जनिमानि विश्वा शतं मा पुर आयसीः अरक्षन्नदश्येनो जवसा निरदीयतिमिति गर्भे एव एतत् शयानो वामदेव एवमुवाच स एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीरभेदात् ऊर्ध्व उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आत्मा अमृतः समभवत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नारायण वन सेकंड। So the Aitareya Upanishad is systematically guiding us right from the beginning. The final thing to be achieved is the Brahma Anubhuti, gives moksha. But what we are at that moment is, at this moment, is in the fully engrossed way into the world of so much variety in front of us, as if that world is real, our life in the world is necessary. Therefore, there is nothing beyond. From this load or mood, we have to be brought to the Brahma state. That is a aim, a target of Upanishads and the Gurus who are in that stage already. So therefore, how do they start as it started here? And we also have to follow the guidelines given by the Gurus to reach to the place. Like nowadays, घर से ही इंस्ट्रक्शन देते हैं, हाँ आप वो वहाँ तक आ गए, फिर वहाँ से ले लो लेफ्ट, फिर उसको तीसरी गली में आ जाओ, फिर वो बड़ी बिल्डिंग है ना, उसके पीछे वाला बिल्डिंग, देन कम एंड दैट लिफ्ट 4 लिफ्ट्स आर देयर, नॉट द थर्ड लिफ्ट में आ जाना इन द 7th फ्लोर. So we guide, then they keep on coming, our relatives, friends. So to the Guru is guiding, then we follow those steps, we reach the stage in which the Guru is. So how this Upanishad started? Okay, you are seeing the world? Yes. Let us start this way. That it is an effect or created. Naturally, there must be a creator. So when the creator did not create the created world, he alone is there. That is how from the world, the created to the creator. World is not important. For us, it is important. For him, Brahman is important, the Guru and Shruti Mata. Therefore, Atma va idam ekameva magre asit started. Then just to be careful, na anyat kinchana mishra. Nothing other than him. Because he has to be experienced finally. Then he started contemplating to create and all. Then the entire first, second, third khandas of this first adhyaya, the entire creation explained. And that discussion ki katham nu madrute syaditi. How come this created world be without me? These are all processes, techniques which when adopted, all doubts go away. Then we start doing that which we are expected of seeing the divine, the Lord, the Brahman. So he only entered. Then he only identified with the upadhis. He only suffered. Then he only got into the guidance company of the Paramakarunika Acharya. Then he contemplated about himself and the world in front, in which he is bound. Then he again discovered that all of that is one Brahman only. That is me. Brahma tata mama pashyatu. That also how aham asmi iti. Hmm, isn't it? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah. Brahma tata mama pashyat idam adarsham iti. That this whole thing now I have visualized as the Brahman, Brahman as myself. Little analysis in it is what? All is delusion Maya other than Brahman. How it works is it projects the upadhis, it projects the world, and it projects the upadhis seeing the world. In this bargain, it hides the Maya Shakti, the truth reality, which is everywhere in this projected world. I know, into which we are trapped now, taking it as real, not able to even Imagine to leave it, you know, even the thought also to leave this world comes to us, even to accept it as unreal, projected. Like when you tell children, you're wasting your time, youngsters, by going on your bikes with your friends and all those places. If the time you save it and put for your career and study, हो तो इतना गुस्सा, मम्मा शुरू मत करो आप मेरे को प्रवचन करना. So imagine how the mind of that child lost in that friendship and उनके साथ घूमने का, कि the words of mother, the well-wisher, appear to be poisonous. He rejects, he refuses to listen. बोलने ही नहीं देता हूँ. So too the fully worldly engrossed person बोलने भी नहीं देता भैया in the world in which you are. Is not real. बाप रे, बहुत tough, this bringing this breakthrough, so tough for the gurus, guru parampara. Like a very good batting batsman को out करने के लिए the captain ना employs all the bowlers. Then the non-professional irregular bowler also used. Suddenly उसको मिल जाता है wicket. In the same way, one after the other guru go on bowling to us with various teachings. One or the other devatas go on bowling to us with various experiences to get us out. है ना, ये सब आउट करने को करते हैं हमको. To get us out of this strong notion that the world is real. बहुत बार तो वही हार जाते. हम उसका चांस भी नहीं लेना चाहते हैं कि वर्ल्ड, इवन नाउ विथ ऑल आवर 5 years of listening of all satsang, for us still the world is more real than the classes, than the Paramatma. That's why it's not any pointing the finger at, not finding fault, not blaming or nothing. It is what we are going through. It's only highlighting it. Where are our loyalties? Where are our interests? Where are our plannings? Where are our executions? More of the world only. That's how the whole life of others 100%. Ours is little better. At least we take out time for classes, for other study and chintana. It's only very minimum beginning. Then now coming to the point is what do we meant by the Maya is the Trigunas, you can call them as Triguna Utpanna, all the Upadhis we can call. Through them we attend to. On the same Paramatma only, the world of what do you call Shabda Sparsha Prasagandha, they are all as if seen or projected. Then what? Ki, when these Upadhis are consciously transcended, then through the Upadhi seeing is transcended. Therefore, that presented thing because of seeing through Upadhi, called as the world of names and forms, is also transcended. Then we see at that stage what exactly is. That's called Brahman Paramatma. So in this Upanishad, in this way, in the first Adhyaya having taught it, then before the beginning of the second Adhyaya or beginning only, the some summary of the whole thing is. First very salient point was Vakyartha. Vakyartha is Brahman alone is, and that Brahman is me. All other creation processes, everything is अर्थवाद और मायावी ईश्वर का करने का वो कैपेसिटी है. And the creation has knowing the creation has no purpose at all. Only knowing Paramatma is the purpose. And this all is a Sukhava Bodha Pratipatyartham. For explaining to us about the Brahman, easily understandable way, that this whole Kahani is said. Of creating the world and all of that. Yet, how much ever solidly we experience the world, self alone is real, all else is projected. ना इसको घुसवाने में हमारे बुद्धि में गुरु महाराजों को कितने जन्म लगते हैं. Then only we start. reducing our importance value given to it, time given to it, then we get energized sufficiently to focus on this. All our energy is going away in our involvement in the world. है तो लिमिटेड एनर्जी भाई, आप उसको इधर यूज करो उधर करके हम ऐसे कमजोर हो जाते हैं. देयर इज नो स्टैमिना इन द माइंड इंटेलेक्ट. Like when you watch TV whole day, where is the stamina for even to open the book and chant one mantra or fight with people or जो भी हो. So Arthavada Vishaya is discussed. 4 reasons are explained and satisfactory. And then what is the take home point? Again and again, when you look at the world, from the world, go back to the Srishtikarta. Then just remember, as guided Upanishad, the process of Srishti and his entry. And while doing all that, check it consciously that is our attention on the Paramatma is continuous or not, intact or not, constant or not. है ना? Like पोते का बर्थडे है. How many things are done at home? Decorations, invitations, eatables made, guests received. But corner of the mind, always the attention is on that fellow क्योंकि the occasion is for him. So too शादी बेटे का या बेटी का लाखों चीजें होते हैं करने को. But attention is on the bride groom if he's a son or daughter bride. So to a politician, how many rallies he goes, manifestos he announces, agendas he proposes, assurances he gives. All that happening. But his mind is only hooked onto that यार कम से कम एक या दो होठों से भी मैं जीत जाऊं. His attention is on that. Because the whole drama is doing with that. In the same way, slowly, the thought of Brahman, that he is creator and he is the one entered and he is the one going through bondage as a jiva, he is the one becoming sadhaka, he is the one now in that sadhana kala, transcends all these delusory binding things. And he was the one discovering that Brahman. In that he should be replaced by now I or me. I am that Brahman. I am the one projected the world. I am the one entered. I am the one suffering now at this moment we are now as a jiva is the upadhi. यहाँ तक जो होना है हुआ था वो बता. अब होना क्या है next? Then होना क्या is important. I have to realize my Brahma Swarupa. Further I have to transcend all the upadhis. For that, I have to have vairagya for the world. For that, the data is sufficient that they are permanent nahi hai. They are having nature of bondage, etc. All these things, whichever is required. A set hoga pura spanners ka. You are in that mechanic's shed. Whichever is required, you take out and you do it. है ना? इलेक्ट्रिशियन का स्क्रू ड्राइवर्स, टेस्टर्स, टेप्स, कैंची सारे होते हैं इस बैग में. Whichever is required, it does it. है ना? शॉप रिटायर कितने चीज़ें होते हैं. कस्टमर्स का मुंह बिस्कुट दो, एक कोल्ड ड्रिंक दो, रेडी टू गिव. मेडिकल शॉप, thousands of medicine brands, prescription. You can see in that very busily located hospitals around, and all busily working chemist shops, cluster of hospitals, cluster of हो आवाजाही होता है. if it's a season मानो बीमारियों का, you can just see entering of the patients and crying and doctors can देखो हम ये दवा दो वो दवा दो. And 10 workers in that shop, ये ले आयो. It's all very dynamic. Everywhere कपड़ों की दुकान, सब्जी का market. In the same way, we have to have all the data regarding sadhana, which is required to be used at what time. That one we have to use to accomplish this task of getting vairagya for the world. therefore reducing importance for the world in the heart. That's why stopping the equipments to become extroverted, then to the extent they can help us in discovery of self, using them there, then taking those equipments, finally the intellect होता है as the springboard or as a pole vault pole, just springboard पे ऐसे jump करके they dive into the waters, dive into the self which is beyond. That's the whole purpose. Go beyond that barrier, the whatever the mark is there, the pole vault वाला वो खोद के आता है. Heavy pole, you'll carrying, right time. That whole scene is spirituality, going across the reality given to the world to the real reality. How many number of times we have to listen, even to register what he said, that the world, how much our reality is appearing, it has a substratum that is reality. We have to realize that. Even घुसने के लिए इस बात को, उसके बाद जाकर then that is given value, importance, that is made as the goal, then the real sadhana starts. Each one at different levels. You and I should think for ourselves in this process at what level we are. Next step क्या है? हो गया? Now this Vakyartha explained and explanations, justifications are all given. हो गया. Now a new discussion starts by the disciple only. पूर्व पक्षी सिद्धांति कर रहे हैं. थोड़ा गंभीर वाला है, आवश्यक वाला है, कठिन वाला भी है. We do the initiation today for 10-15 minutes. Slowly we develop it tomorrow little bit. Amma. Yesterday we started, in fact. Now the Nanu Purvapakshi says, okay, satisfied. So Vakyartha is one Brahman alone is permeating in and through everything. Same is everywhere said. Kshetragnam chapimang vidhi sarva kshetreshu. Or etad yonini bhutani sarvani ityavadhanaya aham krutnasya jagata prabhapralaya tatha matta partram nanyat. Or maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktam. Or ईशावास्य विदगम और आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र और यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि. I'm just quoting Gita, Bhagavad, Upanishad. Everywhere, the only main thing said is what? What is only Brahman. What you see is only Maya. Is only the effect of Maya on the Brahman only. Just imagine a state. Okay? We have transcended our upadhis of Dehendriya Manobuddhi, but not yet gone into sleep. Where will the whole world, which was seen by these upadhis at that time? When I'm looking with the eye, I see the world of forms, colors. Isn't it? See, ears, sounds, everything. When I go beyond the mind, where are the emotions and projections? Beyond the intellect, where are the concepts? But two things. I remain. I should remain. I should enter into sleep. What will happen? Everything is which was earlier presented by the Indriyas or the Mana as their respective objects. Like yellow goggles, you will see world yellow, green, green. So इंद्रियास यूज करके देख रहे हैं तो इंद्रिय विषयों के रूप में जगत दिख रहा है. अब इनको पार करके देखो तो what will be seen? When we transcend upadhi, we discover ourselves first. When we discover our real self, the whole world will be discovered as our own self. Now, it's not as easy as said now. Of course, lot of struggles, processes one has to go through. Narayana. Now, the new topic discussion begins. First, Nanu Traya Atmanaha. The Nanu means Purvapakshi says, Oh Guru, they are three Atmas. He is building a question on the basis of the sentence that is said, the Mukhya Vakyartha. What is that? Ki Saha Eva Sarva Sharireshu Eka Eva Atma. And also to strengthen it, na anya iti. Sarva Sharireshu Eka Atma and na Anya is the concluding sentence. अब सर्व शरीरेषु एक आत्मा गुरु कह रहे हैं, अब इसको एक शरीर में तीन आत्मे दिख रहे. What Guru or Shrutivada says is in the millions of dehas, whatever they are, irrespective of their sizes, their functionality, ability, कोई भी हो, छोटा अमीबा भी हो, वो बड़ा सा बड़ा ब्रह्मदेव भी हो, सर्व शरीरेश एक आत्मा and na anya is important because this na anya is in the beginning, na anya kinchana mishat. Now this sentence Mahavakya, which Guru Shankara said as the conclusion of or the purpose of the first Adhyaya, has not said from his own topi or anywhere. It is the one with which the Upanishad began. Atma va idam ekayameva agre asita na anyat kinchana mishat. Same thing he says. Tasmat saheva sarva sharireshu eka eva atma na anya iti. He alone is the Atma in every being. There is nobody other than him. In all beings, millions, like in thousands of the pots of water, one Surya only is entered. And because of Tadatma with those Upadhi, it may be appearing many. Interesting. Very subtle point. Catch. But this Purvapakshi says, three Atmas are there. Nanu Traya Atmana. What are the three? One, Bhokta, Karta, Samsari, Jiva, Ekaha. कर्म करके फल को भोगने वाला संसारी जीव इज वन आत्मा. इट इज लोक शास्त्र प्रसिद्ध. In Loka, we all experience ourselves to be that. We see others also like that. In the Shastra also, when they told about do punya, avoid baba, do the dharma, avoid adharma, do sadhana, to whom it is addressed? Obviously, to this person only. Therefore, Shastra का भी सम्मति है in the acceptance of this one जीव संसारी आत्मा. See? देखो पॉइंट क्या है ना, अभी डिस्कशन जो होने वाला है वो ये है कि इफ यू एक्सेप्ट द जीव देन यू कांट रिजेक्ट हिम. If you accept he is existing, then you can't say he is not there. Therefore, what this Shishya tries to say is Atma hai na Guru Maharaj, as if he talks like that. Then you want to continue. गुरु कहते हैं आत्मा है ना, कहीं रोक देते उसको, आत्मा नहीं है बेटा. आत्मा मीन्स जीवात्मा. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी डीप डिस्कशन है ना. मुश्किल है पकड़ना, पकड़ने का कोशिश. What he wants to establish this one without second Brahman, and this fellow is holding on to his own जीवा भाव. एक आत्मा हो गया भाई जीव, मतलब कि मानो ना तो जीव है. इज ट्राइंग दैट. गुरु कह रहे भाई मानो ना ब्रह्म है, जीव नहीं है. क्योंकि मानने में ही द ब्रह्मन इज अपियरिंग एज जीव. दैट इज हाउ भगवान ने ईक्षत करके फंस गया ना. अगेन यू आर डूइंग सेम मिस्टेक. दीज वर्ड्स यू नो, मान लो चलो सपोज, सपोज मैं आपके क्लास में नहीं आ रहा हूं, मैं कहता हूँ सपोज करना ही गलत है बस. At the bud level, you have to nip it. Otherwise, there's no end to it then. First proposal itself is wrong, no? Brahman alone is real when it is said of the Upanishad. तीन आत्माएं. अब देखो ये बंदा, how this is called we all get lost in our own limited knowledges, limited vyavaharas, and limited experiences as if they are real. We don't reject this and eject out of this to accept the higher standpoint given by the Guru and Shastra. This is another struggle. You know, this is another big struggle. Like the mother has The delivery pain, carrying pain she'll have, the delivery pain she'll have, more painful than these two is protecting and growing the child pain. गुरुओं को भी ऐसा होता है शिष्यों को उद्धार करने में. सो फर्स्ट आत्मा देखो भाई, आई एम ऑल्सो पॉजिंग हियर बिकॉज ये जो बोल रहे हैं ना शिष्य, उसको सुन के हमको भी लगा, हाँ एक आत्मा है, श्रुति ने कहा, अरे गुरु ने कहा नहीं है. जीवात्मा है ही ब्रह्म नहीं. If you accept it, then it's over. Okay, you cannot. Like the Christians and all. When they accept Krishna is not God, over. No, anything you tell, they only find the fault. You know? The other religion, when they accepted that this religion is to be destroyed, for no reason, I mean, they do all that only. Very funny it is. Like Ukraine को पूरा निकाल देना. Right? It's going on. Somebody was saying yesterday कि 2030 तक ये वार चलता रहेगा. अरे बाप रे बाप. We are also pausing here to say that the explanation ये पूर्व पक्षी का है, ये सिद्धांति का नहीं. है ना, कोई कोई चीजों में as we saw yesterday, ruthless हमको होना है to reject right from beginning. Like example, child born. Right from beginning, he is went on given all the relations, relativities, identities with the upadhi. अब इतना फंसा देते हैं उसको, isn't it? Then उसको भौतिक सार रसायन जीवन शास्त्र ये सारे पढ़ा कर, अब with so much of guiding him in a wrong way, now how can he discover that he is an atma, he is the self? अब as if कुछ सब कुछ खत्म नहीं हुआ, then they get him married और कहते बच्चा भी पैदा, and then get lost in it. Because same मूर्खता we did. अमंग 140 करोड़ में कितने पेरेंट्स हैं, तो विल नॉट कंटेमिनेट दिस जीवा बॉर्न थ्रू अस with this body, will only bring him up in the natural reality. Nobody thinks bechara he also gets lost and then he takes badla when he grows अपने बच्चों के लिए. Nip at the bud level, just send him in the fourth fifth year only to gurukula where swarupa jnana atma jnana tattva jnana brahma jnana is given. You will learn that only, you will realize it. Just an example given. Here also. So, Ekayava Atma, when is studying, that Atma is not there. Jiva is not there. What is there? Paramatma only. Parabrahma only. So, Traya Atmana, Bhokta Karta Samsar Jiva Ekaha, Sarulok Shastra Prasiddha. Second one is the very important. We saw Aneka Prani Karma, Aneka Prani Karma Phala. देखो the way the Purvapakshi is explaining and we are interestingly listening. ये बोलते अनेक अब गुरु हंस रहे, अरे मैं तो एक ब्रह्म बोल रहा हूँ, तू अनेक प्राणी बोलता है. And in Upanishad, the Brahman is said to be akarta, essence prani karma. अब ये करता ही नहीं है तो फल कहाँ से आएगा, उनको भोग कहाँ से होगा. बट ही सेस अनेक प्राणी प्राणी कर्म कर्म फल फल उपभोग उपभोग योग्य अनेक अधिष्ठान अधिष्ठान लोक देह निर्माणेन लिंगेन यथाशास्त्र प्रदर्शितेन पुरा प्रासादादि निर्माण लिंगेन तद्विषय कौशल ज्ञानवान तत्कर्ता तक्षाद्रिय ईश्वर सर्वज्ञ जगत्कर्ता द्वितीय चेतन आत्मा अवगम्यते. This is not by Siddhanti, it is by Purvapakshi. Then he becomes so excited to talk about the Ishvara, the definitions given about Ishvara in all Shastras. Again, see, he is missing it. The प्रक्रिया तो बताया ब्रह्म को पकड़ने के लिए, ये वो प्रक्रिया पकड़ रहा है जिसे ब्रह्म को छोड़ने वाला, यही ब्रह्म होता है. Like whenever I tell you about the importance of class, be regular. You get offended and say, no, I will not come. When I get importance of having our devotion, the Guru Acharyas, we think opposite only. That is how the mind works. That is the thing till we don't realize it, we cannot transcend it. Like बच्चों को वो पढ़ो बोले तो वो पढ़ने वाला भी पढ़ना छोड़ देता है. खेलो मत कह दो तो that reaction we have mind, mind works like that only, and we are slave of that mind, which is very tough to discuss. When the mind itself we have not understood and transcended, how can we understand the ego and jiva bhava and transcend? बहुत मुश्किल होता है, बट अनिवार्य है, दैट इज व्हाट, लाइक द टनल में there's no way then to bring them out, तुमको स्ट्रगल करके somehow वो पूरा वो 58 meters whatever you have to make a tunnel or whatever to bring them out, evacuate. Here also, no, the rendering appear to be so beautiful. There is second Atma who is an Ishvara, who with his own Shakti and the knowledge has created the lokas and the dehas and the vastus for all the prani, for them to have the karma phala enjoyment for the karma done by them. दूसरा आत्मा, एकमेवाद्वयम ब्रह्म बोला ना, बट फिर भी वो यही बोलता है, दूसरा आत्मा हो गया. देखो कॉमन सेंस की, देर नॉट टू स्वामीज इन मी, आई एम वन ओनली. No, no, a talking Swami is different, walking Swami is different, smell. नहीं रे बाबा, एक ही है. So many upadhis appearing to be many, but he has never become many. He can't. If he becomes something, he is no more there to become another thing. Like if I have become a talking Swami, I can't become something else. क्योंकि बन गया ना, like curd becoming milk. He can't become anything else. Milk becoming curd. It can't become anything else. But am I once talking Swami? Am I continuing only that? I'm becoming something else, no? How am I becoming something when I became already other thing? That means become nahi hua, appear hua bas. Through the mouth speech, I appeared as speaker. I never became speaker. If I become, I can't be something. हो गया ना अभी. जैसे ना आप चपाती बना दिया आटा को, नो यू कांट मेक इट समथिंग एल्स. आलू को बना दिया तरी वाली सब्जी, नो यू कांट मेक इट, बिकम हो गया वो. Milk became curd, no you can't bring it back to milk stage. So it's a simple common sense that we are appearing every moment indifferently. We are not becoming anything. Then what is samsara? Thinking that we are really becoming and behaving as if we are becoming. You know, isn't it? Accepting the temporary thing as permanent. I never became miserable in life. I just appeared like that through that mood of the mind at that time. If I become, I can never become happy again. So second is ईश्वर. वो बोल रहे हैं, अब सुनो उनके साथ. What are the definition of ईश्वर? All that we have seen. Though it's a beautiful thing. वेदांत में रिजेक्ट है, भक्ति में हाँ ऐसे ईश्वर है, ये सबको भला करने वाला, रोके करने वाला, हे भगवान मेरी रक्षा करो. पुराण इतिहास talk about all that. भगवान ईश्वर, ईश्वर प्रणिधानाद्वा. They're all prakriyas, please. Processes, they are all. They're not the ultimate goal. Remember everything, if you remember the sequence. No, that sequence agar clear hai na, we will never miss spirituality. Sequence is what? I went to the vegetable markets, not for going to the market, but buy the vegetable. I bought the vegetables, not for buying the vegetables, but to come and cut them. I cut the vegetable, but not for cutting them, but for cooking. I cooked the vegetable, but not for cooking, it is for eating. I eat that vegetable for not for eating, for having the energy, etc., etc. And I have the energy, all of that for not for that sake. Then what ultimately? For the sake of being happy. Like that, everything if you can trace for this way. हर एक का कारण. And go further. That this happiness in me is my own essential nature. Step by step. Therefore, everything done sequentially is only to reveal the inner happiness. I know all of them were imagined conditions for becoming happy. Otherwise, I am the happy being. In these steps, anywhere if there is a happiness, वहीं रुक जाना चाहिए. इफ देयर इज हैप्पीनेस इन द मार्केट, अब स्टे इन द मार्केट यार. क्यों सब्जी खरीद रहे हैं? अब खरीदने में सब्जी आनंद है, खरीदते रहो. व्हाई आर यू कमिंग होम? अगर घर आने में आनंद है तो लगा दो उस सब्जी, काट क्यों रहे हो उसको? Isn't it? But when I become happy within myself, where all these actions I transcended, there is nothing more. जैसे कि सब्जी खाया, आनंद मिल गया. वो मिलने के बाद अभी कुछ नहीं करने का. आई एम हैप्पी नाउ. So the happiness is in being the self. But we projected it in going to market, getting this, that, sara, samsara. Rishi Muni Sannyasi, like today we will see in Ramji saying, they are in the Atma Ananda only. That's it. What a beautiful shloka we'll see today. Excellent it is. Those last two shlokas. Let Bhagavan bless us to understand it deeply. Good shlokas, those two. Equally beautiful are these shlokas. In fact, it is in the Hindi text which we are studying in Hindi, the Kaubina Panchakam. You know, Swananda Rupe Paritushtimantaha, that topic. Same Ramji says, no? Sukhi Bhava, Niramayo Bhava, Anandamayo Bhava. Ah, slowly, slowly. थर्ड आत्मा कौन है फिर? कि यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते नेति नेति इति आदि शास्त्र प्रसिद्धः औपनिषदः पुरुषः तृतीयः. सो शास्त्र प्रसिद्ध उपनिषद में बताने वाला that parabrahma, that purusha, that atma, to find whom the vani mind go and they fail and come, he is a third. So karta bhokta samsari jiva is one purusha. Karta of the whole world and equipments and the objects required for the sake of these jivas with his own freedom. And he himself never becomes bhokta of any one of them. His second purusha is called Ishvara, according to Purvapakshi. Then the Upanishad Ukta, Akarta Abhokta, is the third purusha. Therefore, how many purushas are there? There are three, it says. So, morning going to jogging, one purusha. And in the suited, booted, coated in the car going to the office, second purusha. Coming in the evening, sitting in front of TV and watching CCL, third purusha, LLC. CCL 2 महीने में start होगा. Understood this much? Eva iti evam ete traya atmanaha. This is how there are three atmas. And anyonya vilakshanaha. Each one's lakshanas are different from other. So Jiva is karta bhokta. Ishvara is only karta. And the third purusha is akarta abhokta. Totally different they are. Three hai. Then tatra katham eka eva atma advitiyaha asamsari iti jnatum shakyate. Now, how to accept that there is only one Atma, Eka Eva, and Advitiya without second, and Asamsari without samsara. Samsara Rahita Eka Eva Advitiya Atma is baat ko. How to understand, how to accept? Very tough. You know, how can I accept? Is objecting only. So, teen Atma bolte. Now, the Guru Maharaj has to jump into action and do. How the discussion starts is, he says, Tatra Jiva Eva Tavat Katham Jnayate. So, Jiva Namak, one Purusha is there. How do you know? Siddhanti asks the Purvapakshi. Then Jiva, that Purvapakshi narrates. In this way, I come to recognize the presence of the Karta Bhokta Samsara Jivatma. What Guru does through Upanishadic quotations from other Upanishads and very subtle logic, that he proves that Jiva is never there. That's why I'm saying this particular portion, Aitareya Upanishad, story वजह से बताता है. And the तीन अवस्थाएं, then तीन जन्म, all of that they say. But the Prajnanam Brahma Bala toward the end, And this portion here about the refuting of the presence of Jiva, and in the beginning, which we have not studied, beginning of Upanishad, the Sambandha Bhashya, these are very, very powerful. They are the ones which really enlighten us regarding what pure Vedanta. But it's a very deep thinking process. So, what is Guru Maharaj's answer? I just want to be very clear for my understanding and to you. So, therefore, only slowly, little only we are doing it. जितना हम ग्रास्प कर सके, तो कल के दिन बहुत खास होगा, important, because it's very essential thing we are going to begin the study. It is there running for 7-8 pages, heavy dosed also, and in the context of the Upanishad and sequence of thought development, if that were not required, Shankara Bhagavan would have not given it there. So see now, just being an outlooker, for दूर से थोड़ा देख लो उपनिषद को अभी. What are the two things that are so far touched? One is the whole Srishti Prakriya is only for this Vakyartha of the Ekameva Atma. Then the Purvapakshi is saying Tina Atma hai. That by rejecting it, again the Ekayeva Atma is told by the Guru Maharaj. And our life's goal also is discovered that Ekameva Atma, which is Brahman, which gives moksha. In this way, this Upanishad, by giving us Brahmatma Ekabodha, liberates us when we follow it. Oh, may we all pray that our intellect comes to that sharpness level to grasp these intricacies. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramanashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Be with me in the study of these Shastras if possible. Thank you.